Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Year in the Life of Pitt Dance Marathon. My name is Paris Keegan, and I'm the president of Pitt Dance Marathon.
I'm Ben Kaminsky, and I'm the Director of Membership.
And I'm Mia Rubinkham. I'm Director of Finance.
Pitt Dance Marathon proudly celebrated a year filled with milestones and broken records, starting off with it being our 10th year as a student organization, but we did not stop there. Pitt Dance Marathon broke astonishing records for our push days, registrations, staff rates, campus connections, and ultimately hitting 400K, something that seemed like a dream and the farthest reach at this time last year. PDM 10, our year-long title, was the year of new beginnings, and with that, a newfound success for our program. In this presentation, you'll learn about how we structure Pitt Dance Marathon along with our thought processes behind our most successful projects this year. All right, so by now you've all probably learned of CMN's sprint model, something that PDM thrives off of. So here's our own PDM spin on the sprint model that I'll briefly walk you through. For context, Pitt Dance Marathon is a spring dance marathon that takes place in March. As soon as we step back foot on campus, our staff recruitment and onboardings begin. And in September, we also kick off the year with our Miracle Kid Carnival. Once our staff is onboarded, we activate with our first push day, and we simultaneously onboard our team captains throughout the entire fall semester. Starting off in the spring semester, we hold our registration push week to recruit our participants, and we put on our major programming events to unite our participants, captains, staff, and champion families. Then it's the time to activate everyone through fundraising before the big day. Then immediately following day of, we begin our internal team transition process.
So the key to PDM's wide-range success from years prior was constructing an internal team that acts as the strong core to our fundraising campaign. Those who are part of our internal team are the most passionate, driven people on our campus, eager to spread the mission of PDM to their peers on campus and within the greater Pitt community. Over the next few slides, we'll talk through how we reimagined our onboarding and development processes to build a team rooted in purpose, leadership, and connection, ultimately leading in our most impactful year yet. Before we talk about how redesigning our onboarding process led to sustained activation and morale, it is important to understand how we operate. So our internal team consists of our executive team, which is led by our president and executive secretary, and also houses our board of directors, who each manage one of our 6 panels. On each panel are 3 to 5 chairs that lead one specific cohort of the panel's agenda, and on each panel contains general staff members that step up and help where hands are needed, either in the brainstorming, planning, or execution phase of all PDM affairs. Those who join our internal year for their first year begin as a general staff member on one of these 6 panels. So for PDM 10, our internal recruitment strategy centered on showing prospective staff what they would gain from joining PDM. This way, we emphasized cause connection, the impact of fundraising, and most importantly, the relationship they can form with our Miracle Kids. Our aim was to help every new recruit find their personal why for being part of the Dance Marathon movement. Historically, onboarding began at our annual activities fair, followed by a generic informational session, and concluded at the Spark the Flame session, where roles, responsibilities, and our internal structure was introduced. Panel placements were announced at their first general body meeting, and new staff began their PDM journey. The goal was to have all new staff fully onboarded a month before push day, hoping that all new staff would activate as equally as our veteran staff during our kickoff fundraising event. But this was not the case. Feedback showed that new members often felt unprepared and overwhelmed by being thrown immediately into the chaos of dance marathon planning. So in response, we launched PDM Bootcamp, a new onboarding session designed specifically for new first-year staff. It covered essentials like donor drive customization and Facebook fundraiser utilization, Canning 101, developing a PDM elevator pitch to use in social circles, tabling etiquette, and advice from alumni who had been a part of our staff before. Focused on how to be a successful PDMer, this revamped approach created our most prepared and largest incoming class to date. After our internal recruitment, our focus shifted to develop a well-equipped, motivated team to drive our dance marathon efforts forward. We first prioritized leadership development by empowering our chairs, who now had an enhanced leadership role with the introduction of a committee system within each panel. Our chairs learned how to guide their committees and inspire general staff involvement in year-long planning at our staff retreats held at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. And the leadership team also had the opportunity here to take a hospital tour and see firsthand the impact of our fundraising, deepening our cause connection and inspiring us to do more. With a reinvigorated leadership team, general staff successfully executed large-scale events, fundraisers, and day of planning. To further support development and communication, we implemented a town hall system, creating space outside of GBMs for problem solving when discrepancies arise, which, as we all know in dance marathon planning, discrepancies do arise, feedback, and clarity of fast evolving plans. This made any setbacks we may encounter, no matter how large, seem minuscule. This intentional focus on growth fostered a team culture grounded in purpose, support, and shared success. Our internal team became more than just a staff, we became a family. Whether cheering on fundraising wins on push days in the staff group me or stepping up at special events when help was needed, our internal team thrived because every team member was invested in doing more and they were doing it together. By the numbers, PDM 10 blew expectations out of the water, starting with our most impactful internal onboarding season yet. We saw a 44% increase in recruited staff members, nearly doubling our general staff body. And we also experienced a 94% retention rate from the previous year, which shows a clear indicator that our team not only grew in size, but also in passion. And so, with stronger leadership, a deeper cause connection, and a family like culture, we built a rock solid foundation that set the tone for a successful year of dance marathon planning and execution, fielding the largest and most activated internal team in PDM history.
All right, and now we will switch gears to an external side of things and talk about the recruitment of our team captains and participants. First, we'll start with our new team captain program that we built from scratch this time last year in the summer, when we surprisingly found out that the fraternity and sorority life teams at Pitt would no longer be required to attend Pitt Dance Marathon as they were in the past. At first, we thought this was a major setback, but it quickly turned into a space for opportunity and growth as we could turn around our relationship with this specific campus community. Our goal with the new team captain program was to prioritize partnerships and to show our teams a mutually beneficial relationships where they directly benefit from participating in our program. To prepare this new team captain program and enhance our benefits, we created a requirement where our staff members each have to attend 2 external events for our teams. We also entirely removed our $125 fundraising minimum because we believed it created an attendance and participation barrier, and participants were also very pleased with this change too. In replacement of a fundraising minimum, we created fundraising tiers to encourage participants to still fundraise. The tiers were $72 for an event t-shirt in honor of the 72 kids who enter a CMN hospital every minute, and the $125 tier was to receive 2 catered meals with additional free snacks. Also, we increased our registration fee to $10 that acts as an automatic donation into their donor drives to ultimately eliminate $0 dancers while also kickstarting fundraising on an individual level. After setting these changes, it was time to put the program into action. Following the sprint model, we focused on team captain onboarding in the fall and participant recruitment in the spring. So in the fall, we spent a lot of time doing our outreach to all organizations on campus, and then we scheduled one-on-one meetings with each interested organization to onboard them as a team captain and build a personalized fundraising plan that meets their team best. In the past, we would calculate a team's fundraising goal for them based on the amount of members in their organization and based on the $125 minimum we had in the past, but that created totals that seemed very out of reach for most teams. So instead, we went with a personalized fundraising approach that analyzed each team's numbers from previous years to build their new goal for the upcoming year. We structured these meetings around team profiles, a CMN resource that we customized into our own template. Then, to continue on in the timeline, we also held monthly team captain meetings. And a big change in this new program was to take away the business and informational dump feel to the first meeting. And instead, we replaced it with a Find Your Why workshop that was interactive and helped build personal relationships to them while building cause connection for our newly onboarded captains. Along with these monthly meetings, we also send out monthly newsletters to the captains and more frequent communications and check-ins closer to day of and things like push days. Then in the spring, after we've had our captains onboarded, we switch gears to participants for our huge registration push week that I will talk about shortly. But first, here is an example of a team profile, which is what we structured our one-on-one meetings around. And this is also a CMN resource that we personally personalized to PDM and to these groups. We first start with aligning our values with the organization's values, including their colors, logo, fraternity or sorority letters, and then their slogan there at the bottom. Then on that next page, we outline our benefits and our mission. Then on the third page, they can see more information on the impact that their direct fundraising makes on our local CMN hospital. And then we specifically look at their past fundraising numbers to make a goal for them together. Then on the last page, we give them our contacts and social media, as well as get them registered on Donor Drive on the spot in that meeting, as well as join their team captain GroupMe. These profiles not only professionally structured our meetings, but it showed each organization that we put in the time individually to personalize their profile that they can keep and look back on whenever they need. All right, now moving on to our Reg Week, which not only surpassed our goal halfway through the week, but also broke records on multiple occasions. For our registration week, we individualized our year-long campaign, The Future Starts With Us, into The Future Starts With You, to show each individual participant that their efforts matter. We kicked off our registration week with a kickball tournament partnered with the ZBT fraternity, who also has a philanthropy of CMN, that increased participation of a lot of our external teams to start off our registration week. Our biggest success of the week was our half off registration day, which we only offer once in the entire year. And on the same day, we also asked our staff members to bring a non-registered friend to our general body meeting to not only register them, but to do a cause connection activity. Also, all of our staff members had an individual goal to register 5 friends, and we also hosted a headquarters where we spent all day checking in with team captains and personally texting all lapsed participants from the year prior. To then incentivize teams to activate in this Reg Week, we not only reminded them of the benefits they get out of participating in our program, but we also gave away incentives like gift cards and raffle tickets for our main event to the most activated teams. But this Reg Week would not have been possible have all these broken records without extensive planning. So I, as the previous recruitment director, started planning this Reg Week out months in advance, but my chairs had to-do lists every week for about a month out of tasks to prepare us. We also had a very detailed communication plan spreadsheet for each day of the Reg Week, specific down to the hour of each day that emphasized intentional communications to our captains and participants. Lastly, we want to make sure we got to see our team captains and our participants face to face during the week and make sure they're fully prepared. So we hosted meetings to prepare them throughout the week as well. Next, now that you've heard all about these broken records, here are some numbers to put it into perspective. So 48% of our end of the year total of our participants registered during that registration push week, showing how much of a game changer this week can be. Next, 69% of participants that registered during Reg Week registered on the half off day compared to last year. We had 31% increase in Reg Week participants this year. And lastly, we had 82% activation of our teams during the registration push week. Now that the captains and participants are all registered, it's time to focus on engagement and participation. So PDM hosts a Color Olympics competition in the weeks leading up to the main event to boost morale. And then on the main event, there's participants that wear the shirt of their color team and participate in point opportunities throughout the day. This program is not only beneficial for morale, but can also be used to elevate fundraising, as we conducted a fundraising competition during the week of day of, where we assigned each day of the week to a color team and gave them 1 point for every dollar raised on their color day. We also put on a fashion show that brings in the most external engagement besides our main event, as representatives from teams get to walk down the runway with our miracle champions and get to build their cause connection before day of. And lastly, what keeps our relations and our participants and in teams returning year after year is our stewardship and efforts to personally know our captains and participants. On day of, we ensured that all 70 team captains received a handwritten thank you note from the director of recruitment to thank them for their year-long efforts. Also on day of, we recognized our top fundraisers on stage with awards, as well as Miracle Maker Awards and Team Captain of the Year Awards. Finally, PDM's recruitment strategy is more than getting a registration on Donor Drive and upping the numbers. It's about reminding our participants of our mission and helping them find their why that makes them want to stay and be a part of the PDM family.
Now we're going to move into fundraising, more specifically fundraising pushes and fundraising resources. So at Pitt Dance Marathon, we have three major fundraising pushes throughout the year: fall push, spring push, and of course, our main event. We treat each like a holiday full of energy, celebration, and purpose. Push days are crucial for us to reach our goals, but they are also so much more than that. They give us a chance to come together as a community, celebrate our cause, and remind ourselves why we do this. Our fall push day typically takes place around Child Health Day and is focused on energizing and activating our internal staff. This year, we chose to center our cause around one of our own staff members, Gabby. Inspired by her journey, we built our fundraising goals and individual asks around her story. It wasn't just about raising money, it was about honoring someone we know and love. Our group meet was going off all day, full of shout outs and cheers every time someone hit a milestone or got a donation. This constant stream of positivity kept everyone motivated and connected. We wrapped up the day at our GBM by sharing our reveal and celebrating the incredible milestones we achieved together. Our Spring Push Day takes right after Reg Week and focuses on activating our external participants. For this push, our cause connection was one of our miracle kids, Jimmy. Our marketing team did an amazing job creating heartfelt video updates featuring Jimmy and his little sister. We typically plan our spring push day around our fashion show so participants get to hear Jimmy's story and raise money in his honor, then later have the special opportunity to meet him and even walk alongside him. It's a powerful way to bring the cause to life and create a meaningful connection between our community and the kids we support. One incredible thing our exec team did this year was personally reaching out to each participant. They sent texts to over 900 people, offering encouragement and providing resources to help them fundraise. This personal touch made a huge difference, motivating participants and showing them they were truly supported every step of the way. So, push day by the numbers, we saw a 46% increase in fundraising during our fall push day, a 20% increase in the spring, and we reached 100% staff activation. It was our most engaged year yet. The key to a successful push day is having the right resources and multiple ways to engage and activate your participants. During our push days, we run what we call Push Day HQ, a home base that's always staffed with exec and finance team members ready to provide resources, answer questions, and help participants fundraise in real time. To keep the energy up, we mix in games like musical chairs and bingo to boost morale and bring some fun into the day. At Pitt Dance Marathon, we are big fans of competition, and HQ is where we host one of our favorites, Penny Wars. Each team competes to bring in the most spare change. We count and roll the coins right there and apply the funds directly to participants' donor drives. We do the same thing with our panel bake sale, counting up the cash and adding it to staff members' donor drives. A little healthy competition never hurt anyone, and it definitely helps the fundraising total. Similar to the customized team pages Paris mentioned earlier, our marketing team also designs personalized bingo boards and fundraising materials to support each team's unique efforts. This reflects our commitment to prioritizing partnerships and showing teams that we genuinely care. To make fundraising even easier, we also provide text and email templates tailored for different audiences, professors, high school teachers, former bosses, and more. All of these resources are conveniently housed in our fundraising resource box, so everything is accessible in one central location in our drive.
And with all of the planning that we put on throughout the year, before we knew it, day of weekend had finally arrived, along with the inevitable chaos it brings. Thanks to the development of a strong internal team and a meticulously crafted hourly schedule for each member, the weekend's operations ran seamlessly. During our post-load-in meeting with our CPM, shout out Abby, the executive team was reminded of a goal that we had once dreamed about but hadn't truly believed we could reach: 400K. And that night, we realized had to do everything in our power to unite the community and make that number a reality. Day of would have to be treated as another push day. In the morning, we rallied our internal team in a morning huddle, clearly outlining their roles and making sure everyone understood the protocols and where to access needed resources. To spark momentum, our executive team leaned on a playful fear of falling short, energizing the sense of urgency and determination within our internal team. We closed our meeting by exchanging hospital bands and sharing our whys, an emotional reminder of the purpose behind it all. That unity fueled the first of many in-event fundraising pushes that ultimately made PDM 10 a record-breaking fundraising success.
As Ben mentioned, our staff was so energized after our morning meeting that 21% of our day of fundraising happened before the event even started. We also saw a 63% increase in event fundraising compared to last year. Moving on to some highlights, we broke more records at day of 2025 and hit our highest participant attendance rate and our highest in-event fundraising total ever. One of the most special moments was bringing back our Miracle Kid Jimmy, our spring push cause connection. Right before his drum session, he rallied us for a fundraising push, and it ended up being our biggest one of the entire day. Another major highlight was our incredible morale team. Not only did they keep the energy high all day long, but they also pulled off a meaningful surprise. Our 2025 morale dance included a special section set to the music from our The Future Starts With Us campaign video. The choreography in that moment was pulled from multiple past morale dances throughout our program's history. It was all planned in secret by our morale chairs as a tribute to those who helped build the foundation of what PDM is today. As Ben mentioned, every participant also received a hospital bracelet to write their why on. During our Circle of Hope ceremony, our morale team went around cutting off the bracelets, a reminder of our mission to change the future of children's health. Another highlight was our Miracle Garden, where participants also wrote their why on tissue paper that became part of a beautiful flower display, symbolizing our collective impact. It became especially meaningful during our Circle of Hope, where we honored Daniel, a CMN patient, and fulfilled his dream of a garden filled with orange and blue flowers. Our last highlight is Memory Lane. It was an immersive walkthrough of PDM's 10-year history. It showcased photos, shirts, and milestones from each year, reminding everyone of how far we've come and inspiring us for what's ahead.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching our presentation. If you're interested in connecting with any of our executive team members to talk about any of the things we just mentioned or any of the many other things Pitt Dance Marathon has to offer, here is our contact information and position titles. Well, thank you so much and hail to kids.